Good morning. Yesterday might have been the most exciting part of the year, which is the US election. And the candidate whom I would have voted for, were I a US citizen, apparently is now president elect. The United States needs a flu shot given the situation it had faced over the past few years, a recession and a downturn in its economic growth. Here in the Philippines as well, I see that there have been changes, there have been some progress. The President Duterte had imparted a growth and evolution. However, his legacy might need further follow through. So, everybody who's listening, I would urge you to vote this 2022, whether it be the anointed of President Duterte or someone whom you feel can make that impact and give us the same level of optimism as most Americans are now enjoying. That being said, I received a query on Facebook Messenger yesterday, and this pertains to separation pay. As a backgrounder, we are aware that many companies have been closing down or cutting back on operations, and as a result, people have been redundated or placed on temporary layoff. The latter is the issue that we are resolving today. The query for today goes said the individual had been working for some time, about 10 years with a certain company, and because of the coronavirus situation, he received notice of a temporary layoff. And during that period, because he had to provide for his family, he applied for work at two other part-time work. Now, the provisions for the temporary layoff by his first company stated that if he would be applying for any other company during the period of temporary layoff, he would not be eligible for separation pay. Now it is November, and he has noticed that other people who had left the company were receiving separation pay, and he is concerned because of his stint with two other companies on part-time basis. He might not be allowed to receive separation pay. Is he correct? The answer to this when we return. The Labor Code of the Philippines provides the answer, particularly Article 298 and 299. Take note, separation pay is authorized only in cases of dismissal by the employer due to any of the following reasons. First is the installation of labor-saving devices. Second is redundancy. Third is retrenchment. Fourth is the cessation of the employer's business. And then there is the employee suffering from a disease whereby his or her continued employment is prohibited by law or prejudicial to the health of his or her co-employees. Note that, again, payment of separation pay is warranted only when the employee is dismissed by the employer for any of those reasons aforementioned. In this situation, there was no dismissal, there was a temporary layoff. And because of what had transpired based on his situation, there was a voluntary application elsewhere while he was waiting to be recalled by the employer. This is a resignation from the previous employer, and there would be no entitlement to separation pay. The takeaway from all of this is if you're on floating status and waiting redeployment, take a look at the fine print in your contract. You can be tempted to look for part-time work or full-time work elsewhere. However, this might lead to a constructive resignation from the previous company, and this would bar any payment of separation pay if this is something that you would be expecting. This is Joseph Plazo. Thank you for listening. Again, do not litigate, mediate.